Hey, this is Drake here. I was coming back with another Remnant 2. I guess you would say build guide video. That's kind of a build I've come to really enjoy running. I've been running the Apocalypse boss rushes to get XP and build my crystals. And this is the most consistent build that I've found. I mean, it's not the highest DPS and it's not the mod spam build that you see everyone coming out with now, which I mean, I guess it's really good. But personally, I like a little consistency. I don't like being able to be one-shotted in the boss rushes. And if you're trying to do, like even with this build in 19 boss rush, when you get up to level 17 or 18, you can still be one-shotted even with the amount of damage reduction that we have. Like, I can't imagine trying to run one of the other ones that like demands perfection. But anyway, this is really good DPS. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just not the 14, 15k DPS that the mod spam builds are building into. But you have a super amount of survivability, and as far as like the 3 or the 7 boss rush, it's fine. You don't even need to pick up the buffs if you don't want to, and you can do it consistently. So I mean, I'm trying to keep it a shorter video. I was going to do a 3-round Apocalypse boss rush at the end just to kind of showcase it. But the setup that I've come to run that I can't seem to take off because I just enjoy it so much is the Whispering Marble. Now you see it grants 3 stacks of Bulwark and increases all damage dealt by 2% per stack of Bulwark. But where it really functions well is when you pair it with the Dried Clay Ring, which gets you up to 4 stacks of Bulwark, but it increases all damage by 50% of total damage reduction granted by Bulwark stacks. And then we throw on this one, and I'm not even going to try to say the name of it, but it grants 1 more stack of Bulwark, which is 5, which is max, unless you put on the other ring to get a 6th one, which really isn't worth it in my opinion. But yeah, and then you wind up with an extra 25% damage reduction, 1.5 health regen per second, and you're getting 25% damage reduction, and I got another 10% from my trait from Bark Skin. But you're sitting at a comfy 67.8% total damage reduction, and we're still at a medium roll, and you basically can run whichever armor that you choose. Now, if you wanted to run like the heavy armor, the Leto Mark II, if you don't care about heavy rolling or all that, you could get even more out of it. But the other one's just kind of, and there's a lot of freedom with this build. I kind of really like that. But others just maker's choice. I like Braided Thorns for just a 10% more crit chance on my skills and my weapons, and I really like this one, the Ring of Ordnance, because it allows my weapons, and especially my drone, to stay active much longer, because it allows it to regen 75% of its normal recharge value while deployed, and it also, when it's stowed, it doubles the regen rate on it. And this does count as a skill, which I wouldn't think, but they are skills, so they do benefit from skill cooldown. So this is like 100% skill cooldown when they're stowed, so very valuable as a skill cooldown for your stuff. Now, as far as traits, I just kind of went like barrier and fortify come from the classes, so you're just kind of with it. I don't really like barrier, but the shield is nice. It's a little more extra comfort. Armor effectiveness is good, but there is a little decreasing value as you get up in the DR, the damage reduction ratings. Like once you get above like 60%, it starts counting for about half of your total DR. So if you had 35% damage reduction, you're getting about half of that as actual value for some reason, but I don't know. But anyway, Fortify, I got Triage because I do have a lot of passive health regen, strong back, and I'd put just enough, like 8 levels is just enough to get us to the green, what I would call medium roll. Of course, Vigor for survivability, Expertise for skill cooldowns. Like I said, these are skills, so they do benefit from skill cooldown. I've checked it. Chakra for our weapons for mod duration, because it really helps with this one here, the Nightfall. And of course, Siphoner for some lifesteal, just because it pairs very well. And when you activate the mod on this one, you get an additional 10% lifesteal. So when this mod is active, you're very, very survivable. You can almost, in some boss fights, you can just straight up face tank them with this and your health regen. And it seems to, I don't know why, it doesn't really say it, but when this mod is active, you do not stagger very easily. It takes a very heavy hit to make you stagger out of your shooting animation. So, I mean, it makes you very tanky. But anyway, back to this. Endurance, just because I hate running out of stamina. I wish I could pump some more in there. Fitness, because I find that 21% evade distance is just right for me. It allows me to be able to roll out. You know, a lot of times of like a two-part attack, you can roll the first part, but then you're stuck in the animation of the second one just because you didn't move far enough. So I find this a very quality of life type thing, but it will get you in trouble on your evading. If you're close to a ledge, you will roll off pretty easily. Amplitude, that's mainly if you're running the impact cannon. You could probably drop that, but I kind of like it. Like, there's a couple of boss fights that impact cannon is just MVP for keeping the little hordes of small monsters off of you, and 25% just feels good to me. It makes it large enough to where it hits basically the entire area, and it does go above it too, so it would even hit flying enemies too. And this one just comes with the classes, a little mod generation. Honestly, you could drop this for this. Now there's a couple ways. Like this just got some flexibility to it. As far as weapons, I've been running a Nightfall with Bullet Weaver just for more fire rate and increased mod generation on the weapon. And then I've just been running the Tech 22. I've got to where I really like this for level clear. It's awesome, high fire rate. And when you pop the corroded rounds with faded wounds on it, is supplying 2 corrosive dots at the same time, and it gives you like 22% more critical rate on it when you pop your mod. So really good all around. As far as this, everybody probably knows, I mean, this weapon, as you can see, it's doing around 5,000 DPS with nothing extra. This one, if you pop the mod, you do around 3,000 DPS. And I found that, I don't know why, but for some reason when you have multiple sources of damage, the dummies really don't read right. So if I pop both my drones and then pop my weapons, it would actually show me doing less damage. Oh, I do have a really good legend, or a fragment that I built. So that does factor into it. I did, and I watched another guide on this. It was really good. There's some really good guides out there. And if you do what they say, you're basically guaranteed to get this. This is the only one. I had to roll this like 5 times to get the sharpshooter. I was really wanting to go for Jack of all trades, but I just got this range damage and I couldn't hardly turn it down. Like I said, this is my original one I built, and I did get the Jack of all trades on it. And honestly, I only had to roll it 3 times, so the RNG is not too bad, but this is the first crystal I ever had. I didn't know anything about building it, but this will do too. This does really good. I've cleared Apocalypse with it several times, and it has a little more survivability with health bonus and a little more health regen. But we will run this one for now. And as far as, I did go back and get the Tranquil Heart, which is quite the chore to get, but I do like the passive health regen because I just kind of hate healing. The animation is so slow that I tend to just wind up dying every time I try. And as far as that goes, like I said, we got like 2 per second here, 1.5 per second here, and then I got another one here, and then the triage gives that another 50% effectiveness. So that's generally the build, and I like to run this concoction for another 2% base delta. That's lifesteal. And that's basically, and you have a bit of flexibility. Like, I really like using combat drone most all the time, and it does give you another 10% fire rate while you have it active, but all of them's really good. Like shield drone, I think it might be bugged. It says it's supposed to give you another 10% damage reduction, but on the readout, I cannot get it to show up. It doesn't seem to function. But other than that, shield is good. I have done the Apocalypse runs and never took any HP damage running this with the ring that helps it recharge faster. And the healing drone, I mean, they're all really good. This all around decent build. Like, I tend to not use the flamethrower one just because I don't like taking a lot of friendly fire. Like, this one will kill you too if you get in the way, but it ain't quite as bad as this one. And that's the one big perk about impact cannon, is it has no friendly fire, so you ain't got to worry about it actually killing you if you get in the way of it. And as far as it goes, it's got a pretty decent amount of like all around damage. You got 50% skill and 25% damage from the engineer here for ranged, and this one's got all damage by 25%, so you are getting a 50% boost to your firearms running these two, so it is kind of a pretty decent gunner build. As far as that goes, I think that's it. Oh, and another perk that I didn't realize, like with engineer, you actually get another 15% damage reduction from either holding your turret or being close to it, which makes you even more tanky with this build. See, I'm at 67.8 right now. If I put this down, you can see that little magnet sign pop up here, which means I'm getting an extra 15% damage reduction. Now we're up to 75.2% DR. 80 is the max. So you're nearly at max. And you can see it deactivates about here. But if you're carrying it, it's active all the time, but you get the clunky, like, hop dodge thing, as I call it. But yeah, so I mean, if you feel like you're taking too much damage, just stand close to your turret and you get an extra flat out 15%. Anyway, we'll jump in here right quick and just run this Apocalypse Boss Rush. Maybe something stupid won't happen, like I get knocked off a ledge or something, which happens more times than I would like to admit. Or some aberration will spawn directly on top of you and just completely one-shot you. Let's renew this. Which has happened to me several times. It's super annoying, and the aberrations are far scarier than the bosses are to me. That's what I love the drone for level flare. Oh, he's gonna try to hex me, or curse me. There you go. Oh, we got a shocker. That's one of the worst substats to roll. Got this. If you're towards the end of the 19 boss rush, you do not want to get hit with that substat shocker. It will one-shot you and your entire team all at once. I've done it multiple times. That is one of the absolute worst ones to get. Hexer's pretty bad. Shocker is the worst in my opinion. That substat scares me. We'll just pick up range damage. Why not? Honestly, I didn't really mean to pick anything up. I was just going to showcase the build without it, but we've already done it now, so might as well just roll with it. Let's see what we get first. I bet you it'll be Red Prince. I seem to get Red Prince always for some reason. Which he's not a hard fight.
This is it.
No, it's the dude. Yeah, this guy here can be a little tricky because he does have a one-shot grab insta-kill type attack, which I really hate. Do this, get our stuff active, go ahead and pop this mod. It doesn't have a really great weak spot. Just work on him. This guy's always tanky. I mean, you can always know that if it's not a very mobile enemy, they're going to have a crap ton of life. And he can't be poisoned, so you kind of lose a bit of damage this way on this particular enemy. Impact cannon is a solid choice on this fight, just because it like kills the little floating guys that he has there. There's the grab. Yeah, you do not want to get hit by that. That's ruin your day grab. You see, we're not overly worried about. I mean, we don't want to just stand there and try to take every hit, but you know, we're not overly worried about taking some shots. As long as we're moving, still dealing damage. Ooh, he nearly got me with it. Oh, 3 times in one fight. He is determined to get that grab on me. The thing I find happen most often is this. I'm always out of ammo with this build. And there we go with the drones, finish him off. Ooh, take damage reduction. Damage reduction is always good. I am working on a damage reduction build, but at the moment I just can't get the meat shake to drop. So stay tuned for that. If I can ever get it to drop, I'm going to make a video on how to get it to drop, and then try to make a full damage reduction build. But like I said, it's being extremely glitchy for some reason.
Get a load of this place.
Hey, so you really never, your drone is so, you get so much passive regen from the ring that we have on, like it usually never goes down. I don't know why, but the last day or two, these enemies really just been swarming together in these levels. Usually they're a little more spaced out. It's got to where I can't make it halfway through the levels before they're like swarming me. Oh, we got a waller. Where's he at? Oh, there he is. If you haven't done a lot of boss rush, really pay attention to those substats, because some of them can be, like Waller is annoying, but some of them, like Shocker, can be deadly. Ammo reserves is always good for this build, because like I said, I'm just always out of ammo. Try to always call your drone back, which is extremely glitchy most of the time. But yeah, it recharges a whole lot faster while it's put up than when it's back. This bridge can be really bad. Like this particular level, you want to get across this bridge as quick as possible. I have literally seen like 6 elites in a row spawn on that bridge. I don't know why. I don't know if it's a glitch or what, but that bridge can be one of the scariest parts of Apocalypse mode, in my opinion. They will spawn endlessly right there. Which one did we get? Oh yeah, this guy's alright. There's only a couple of bosses that you really kind of have to pay attention with. Whoops. Didn't mean to pop that yet, but we'll just use it real quick. Ooh, good grief, he nearly one-shotted me. Yeah, when this guy goes in this form, he doesn't have a weak spot anymore. I thought I was out of that. I learned on this, I kind of listen to the audio cues more than I look at what they're actually doing on those attacks like that. timing isn't very good today. This mod kind of makes you harder to hit, so as long as you're moving, a lot of their attacks will just miss you. Ooh, I didn't hear the second one. There we go. Like I said, not the most DPS, but I kind of like it because it just really don't have to. I mean, there's only just a couple of bosses that you really need to watch out for. Ellipsis Tora is one of them, just because he has so many projectiles that it can kind of overwhelm your health regen. And the relic doesn't have any health capabilities on its own. So, I mean, if you wanted to change that, that would be perfectly fine. I kind of like it, but it can get kind of bad because if you get low on health, you really don't have the option to heal yourself. You can pop it, and it doubles your incoming health regen for 15 seconds, but, you know, you have no way to completely refill your health really quickly. Alright, last area. Maybe we won't get nothing too crazy. Have to be careful on these, like, oh, yeah, like that. If that would have knocked me off the edge, the run would have been over. We'll just do healing orbs, why not? I was saying, they've been swarming a lot here lately. Good grief, they won't even... Oh, he's a cloner. It's another substat to watch for. It's kind of annoying. Ooh. One of the other things I find interesting about the turret and the drone is they're some of the few skills that can hit weak points. Like, most of your skill damage cannot score weak points. The only ones, and there probably is more, but for me, the only ones I've seen is the gunslinger quick draw. It can hit weak points, and these. The rest of the skill damage just seems to not be able to crit. Or not crit, but hit weak points. Alright, we got Talratha. I wonder if it's the standard version or the other one. The other version is more aggravating. Okay, we got the standard version, so that's cool. He's not the best because, like, till he opens his mouth, he doesn't have a weak point. So you can see our health regen just kind of outpaces. When that's active, we get so much life steal that it just kind of outpaces anything he can do to us. Ooh, still got hit by it. I'll always roll right after that attack too. Oh, I did not see that at all. Oh, I said he'll always roll. That down. That's the only time you really kind of can get in a situation is when you're both your drones are on cooldown. That shit had it. Oh yeah, too bad. Like I said, really kind of. Huh, that's weird. I forgot to swap my prison. Oh well. Kind of works. They say we did Apocalypse under right at 15 minutes, the 3 boss rush. We did 426,000 damage dealt, and I tend to do a lot of friendly fire, but what that is when you roll, your drone that's beside you tends to like be right where you start shooting again, so I just tend to hit it a lot, and that's where the friendly fire comes from. But as you can see, we only actually took 630 damage from all the hits we took. I mean, that's the damage reducting coming in, because, you know what I mean, it reduces the damage that much. But that's basically it. That's the build in a nutshell. Like I said, oh, very survivable, kind of. Makes Apocalypse mode as long as you play, you know, I'm not great at this game. I'm not a Remnant, not a hardcore Remnant fan or none of that. Honestly, I just started it, you know, a while back. I've probably got like 175 hours in the game or something like that. I'm not going to do any guides to, and I didn't go over it. We got the Krell axe, but honestly, I never use it. So if you had something else, if you wanted to put, you know, you apply corroded with this instead of this, it doesn't matter. A lot of flexibility in the build. I wish I could have showed it. There's a couple of bosses that I figured out that I like to throw the shield drone on before I go in, just because they have like multi-hit attacks that can, I wouldn't say one-shot you, but if you get caught in all the multi-hits, it will kill you basically instantly. And if you get missions where there's a lot of little enemies spawning in, like Ravager, the impact cannon, stay close to it. It makes the fight so much easier because it will take care of all the little spawns that he spawns in, and you never even have to worry about them. And like the witch, I forget her name, the witch that spawns, yeah, do this, and all the little pigs she spawns in, it will just instantly nuke them before they ever even get close to you. It just makes the fight, it's a little slower, but it makes it so much easier. It takes away one of the danger elements to it. But I said that's basically it. I mean, if you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. If I've missed anything or you have any questions, leave it in the comments. If you want to see more, click the sub button. And as always, thanks for watching.